All right, the Indianapolis Colts got another victory, another close game. Honestly, it's really, really impressive. It's impressive. I'm not saying it was perfect. I'm not saying it was pretty, but that's kind of the way that they need to win right now, isn't it? Like, I think that's exactly how they have to win. And I'm just kind of amazed at the fact that they keep finding a way to win games. Like, it's honestly really, really impressive. So as we look at it, we're going to talk about why this victory was even better than we originally thought. Here's kind of the reason. And I'll go through 3 different ones. I'll talk about what the playoff race is going forward. I'll talk about this victory itself. And I got another thing that's a little bit of a surprise for you. But without further ado, let's first look into the game itself. All right, it was really impressive. Gardner Minshew was Gardner Minshew. He wasn't extremely efficient, but he wasn't bad. The biggest difference with Gardner Minshew in this game, as what he has a propensity to do in other games, is the guy didn't throw interceptions. And so that was really good. That's what allowed it to do well. But they threw the ball well. They didn't run the ball that well. I really thought Zach Moss was going to do a little bit more in this one, but he, if you remember earlier in the year, absolutely went off on the Titans, and the Titans have been a solid run defense all season, except that game against the Colts and Zach Moss, so you knew they were going to key in on that. But here's the thing. They did not give up much through the air, and at first glance, you see 177 yards given up on the ground, and you think to yourself, man, that's not good. It took 42 carries to do so. So it was just over 4 yards per carry. It wasn't great, but you're going against King. Him and Spears have kind of started to provide a really solid 1-2 punch, so you kept that in check. You did well. Here's the other thing. You lost a couple fumbles, but you created a couple turnovers as well. So you stayed even in the turnover game. All those things were going well. But here's the 3 reasons, or a couple more reasons, why this is so good. Let's go over here and look at the division standings. All of a sudden, you find yourselves as number 2 because of the tiebreak over the Texans. We'll get to that later because there's going to be a very important game coming up against the Texans later this season. But for those of you who stayed up late and watched Monday Night Football, I'm not saying we cover the Jags on this channel. If you don't know what we do on this channel, we love football. We're Lions fans. You see the one in the back. We actually have another channel that started us on YouTube called Sports Talk Detroit. But we want to talk about teams that the NFL national media routinely kind of ignores. And we find the Colts to be one of those teams. And it looked like last week, for all intents and purposes, that the Jacksonville Jaguars were going to run away with this division. They were playing a game against the Cincinnati Bengals with a backup quarterback. Okay, the Bengals had a backup quarterback. It was a home game, Monday Night Football. They were going to be 10-3, have a 2-game lead with 4 games to go, and just have a stranglehold on this division. Not so fast, my friends, because unfortunately, Lawrence had what looked to be the worst sprained ankle of all time. They're calling it a sprained ankle right now after initial x-rays. I'm recording this on Tuesday morning, so we'll see what they're calling it later. But you have that. The Texans continue to win, but you have your own destiny in that. So you have a very real shot at winning the division as well, because if you have Christian Kirk, that's hurt for the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you have Trevor Lawrence, that's hurt. They are going to struggle a little bit. They're going to struggle a little bit. And not only that, when you look at kind of the remaining schedules of what they have going on, and I'll find that for you in a second because it was just up there, but they just got rid of my, they got rid of it for me. So if you look at remaining schedules, theirs is, arguably the most difficult. So the Jacksonville Jaguars, they just lost to Cincinnati. They have Cleveland, all right, at Cleveland. That's still a difficult game. Joe Flacco, I'm going to be putting up another video this evening about the Cleveland Browns and how they just found their quarterback in Joe Flacco that could actually do something for them. Then they have to play Baltimore. They have to play Baltimore. They go to Tampa Bay, who's playing for their playoff lives still, somehow, at 5-7. Then they go Carolina, not too bad. Tennessee, not too bad. But they, of the remaining teams, have the difficult game. If you go and you look at the Houston Texans, they just got Denver. That was good. They have the Jets, the Titans, the Browns, the Titans, and then you, the Colts. So they don't have that, like, hey, circle it, that's a really good team, Baltimore game. All right? So they don't have that. And then you go to Indy, similar. Now you get to go to Cincinnati and play their backup quarterback with your backup quarterback. That's going to be a good game. Pittsburgh, I've said it all year, they're not real. They're not real, and they're starting to show that they're not real. Then you go to Atlanta, then you have Vegas, and then you have that all-important game against Houston to end the season. So the division is absolutely in reach. You know what that means? That means first round bye in the playoffs. How many of you thought the Indianapolis Colts were going to have a bye game in the first round this week when the season started? This is really good news for the Colts, and it's not just because they won the game, it's because of what's happening around them in the division. But it's not just the division. Let's look at the playoff race. So the Jags are still sitting here at 4. You know that. You play, you have the Steelers. You got them. You got the Browns. You have the games against these teams, all right? And here's what I'm going to say. All right? I like how it says rising up right here. I like that. Steelers, right now, backup quarterback. Browns, right now, a quarterback who just got put on the roster 2 weeks ago. Okay? The Bengals down here, backup quarterback. So, yes, you have the Bills, you have the Broncos, you have the Texans that are all absolutely in the mix, but based on tiebreakers and things like that, you are currently in the lead. You are in the driver's seat for the playoffs. It's remarkable to me. It is remarkable to me. And if you remember the video we did, I think I put it out shortly after Richardson got hurt, and I've talked about this in other videos. I said, it stinks. Of course you want to watch your rookie quarterback all year, but you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. So interesting to me. I thought it was kind of cool, and I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about how the Colts and that victory was probably even better than you originally thought, because it means that now you have a chance for the division. You are, oh yeah, thumbs up, boom. All right. I found this the other time. If I do 2 thumbs up long enough, I got fireworks. All right. This is what was happening in Indy last night as the Jags were losing, and you realized that you had a shot at the division again, and that the Jags weren't going to just run away with it. So hope you enjoyed the channel. If you have any other Colts watching needs, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We do plenty of Colts videos. We actually do a bunch of videos of teams right in your division. We talk about the Texans, we talk about the Jags, and if you want to keep up on what's going on, make sure you stay tuned. All right, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.